Herm Schrader on the Dirty Mo Media platform from the middle of America in St. Louis, Missouri starts right now.
This week, you're correct. Everyone's around St. Louis this week.
Okay, we'll start the show off just like that. Why is Kenny Schrader home?
I was scheduled to be home. Let's see. I did a customer event last Tuesday in Stanton, Virginia. Took the car up there and we went straight from there. Joey flew up and we went over to David Stremmy's Lethal Chassis, and we messed with their car Wednesday and Thursday, and we were supposed to race Friday at Southern Ohio Raceway and Saturday at Tyler County, and all the rain everywhere, and they were both canceled Thursday, and we came home, and there was no place to race around here, so we're just getting ready for the 2-day show at I-55, the World Outlaw Show, this weekend, which will run B-Mod Friday and the A-Mod Saturday.
Hey, I'm super excited about this weekend, but on a sad note, and I know we're happy people, did you see the picture that Brian Shirley posted on Facebook about Paducah right now? Oh my gosh, it is flooded to the maximum peak. I feel bad for Paducah. They're always in a vulnerable spot, but wow.
It's been flooded like that when we owned it too.
Yeah.
It comes up and it goes back down pretty quick. But
yeah,
I didn't see the photo. I just heard about it last night. But I know that was one of our options for trying to run Friday. But they said they were rained out. They didn't say they were flooded out. But it comes up quick.
So it is an exciting week, Charlie, for Kenny Schrader and myself. The World of Outlaws are in town, and every time they come to Federated Auto Parts Raceway, we're usually lucky to see Kyle Larson there. And oh my God, does he put on a show? Kenny, I don't think Kyle Larson he always starts in the back at your your track.
No, he doesn't. He's been midfield before.
Okay, midfield.
Yeah.
It's still a hell of a show.
Oh yeah, it's just now. This is in August is the 55 lapper, and it's not my track anymore.
Yeah, I know. I got
about a month ago we sold that to Josh and Nikki Carroll, and man, I'm just so excited to see what he's come in there and just done a lot of stuff already, and got a lot more plans, and just got a lot of energy,
Yeah.
and he's worked on the track a bunch, the actual surface.
Yeah.
And they had a play day a couple weeks ago with 88 cars, which is phenomenal to show up for a play day. And the track was great after that. Now, I know we had a lot of rain last week, but once he got it hard like that, he'll have it in good shape. It'll be Larson's 995 or 998 record. We just don't know because it's going to be it's reshaped a little bit. It's great from top to the bottom. It'd be interesting to see what's going to happen.
And by the way, everybody, when you hear Kenny Schrader talk like that, that's 9 seconds around the I-55 Raceway. So let's get the dates right. That is this weekend, April 11th, Friday night, and April 12th, Saturday. I will be racing with you on Saturday, Kenny. And if Kevin and Tammy decide to race at Tri-City Speedway in Granite City, Illinois, I will be racing Friday night in Granite. And then, of course, Saturday, 15 minutes from my house at Federated Auto Parts Raceway. So, all right.
I think there's been a name update.
Well, oh, really?
Yes.
Breaking news.
Well, I have to, you know what? I don't have it in front of me, but I think it's Federated Auto Parts Raceway Park or I-55 Federated. I'll have to check, but Raceway Park has got added to it. So
we got park
Josh is stepping it up.
All right. Okay. So I think you just told us what you did. Yeah, you told us what you did. When did you get home?
I don't know. We drove home forever in the rain.
Yeah.
We got home
Did it get,
Friday afternoon.
does that rain give you a headache, or are you okay when you're driving in the rain? It kind of hurts the temples of my head.
Good thing you're not a road racer then, huh?
I've raced. Hey, I've raced in the rain over in Suzuka Circuit, and then up there at Circuit Jacques Villeneuve.
So I'm running a 12-hour race at Sebring
Oh boy.
with Scott Legacy and the Consular, it was called. It's a little home-built car with a small block Chevy in the back. And it's my turn to go out, and it's starting to rain. This is 1900 something. I run down and find Al Holbert.
Legend.
Al's the one that got killed in the Aerostar plane, isn't it?
I think so. Yep.
And I said, Al, I'm getting ready to go out in the rain. It's nighttime and in the rain, and I don't have a clue what I'm doing. He said, just do exactly what you were doing in practice. And I said, what do you mean? He said, just do what you were doing in practice. I said, I thought you run a whole different line in the rain. He said, yes, but I fouled you. You just do exactly what you were doing in practice. That's how messed up I was.
Oh my God. Okay, Now you've got me going, Charlie. We got to go a little bit further with this rain, because I'm riding. Listen to me. I am riding. I'm driving Jay Robinson's. It was a U.S. Border Patrol team, but we did not obviously have the U.S. Border Patrol on the car when we went up to Canada. And, it's raining so bad, and we're not set up. This is a lower class team I'm with. And we got like tear-offs on the windshield still. No windshield wiper. And they drop that green flag, and it starts pouring. I catch myself on the backside of the Montreal, Circuit Jacques Villeneuve track. And I can't see oh my God, I can't see. So I created this technique on my own. I literally took my race car at that time and pulled it over to the guardrail, and I followed the guardrail all the way back to the pit area, looking out the driver's side, just hoping somebody wouldn't pack me in the ass, but oh my God, that was my craziest rain moment. But yeah, I'd rather not race in the rain. I don't have any experience at that.
Was it New Hampshire last year when them cats put on rain tires? And they ran almost as fast as they did without them. And they were running all over the racetrack, because they were the rain tires. You want to search moisture on the track. And they were running lines that you wouldn't even think about running. But it was...
And Richmond. Richmond.
Yeah, it might have been Richmond I was watching. It's like, holy hell.
It was crazy.
Yeah,
and that did work. That is another subject in the future, because they did drop the green flag at least 2 hours earlier than they would have ever, because there was water flying off the cars when they dropped the green flag. So that was a good thing NASCAR did. Rain tires.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Being we're not there, it's okay.
Yeah, right. Hey, look at those dummies.
I don't want to run the damn things, but that's okay.
Okay. Moving forward. So I have something just a touch sad. Want to give a shout out to Aunt Pat. Kenny, Kim's Aunt Pat. You've seen her. Great lady. Pat has dementia. And my wife is tore up over it. My wife, Kim, when I met her, Kim had moved in with Aunt Pat. So Kim is really helping Pat right now. And she's up at the care facility right now. She's got some health issues they're trying to get straightened out. But it was very sad for our family to watch this. So what that means is my wife, respectfully, is MIA right now a little bit in my life. She is, but she's not missing in action, but she's not home that much anymore because she's called to duty. And Kim loves Aunt Pat beyond belief. They have a special bond. So I told Kim, I said, okay, Wes Irwin, who sells the World of Outlaw souvenirs. He parked a trailer down at the racetrack early, and he's got the truck up here, just parked up here to kind of get out of the noise. And Wes says, "Hey, let's go to the United States Football League. Let's go see the Battlehawks play down at the Dome." And I'm like, something I wouldn't normally do. And I said, you know what? You got me out of my comfort zone. And Kim is listening to this conversation. And as sad as the situation is with Kim and Aunt Pat, she knows that I'm like, Kim, are you ever coming home? Kim looks at me and she says, go to the football game. So I said, okay, Wes, let's go. And I got to tell you, I was pleasantly surprised. It's not the NFL, and everybody was happy because it's not do or die. There's 8 teams in America. They're called the Battlehawks. They got some silly rally cry. They go, caw, caw. But we won, and it was on FS1. I mean, it was the real deal. And we had a good time. So
that's the oblong ball with the points on the end, right?
Yeah.
That's football.
Oh, you bring up a good point because in Europe, they call it football. And I make fun of that. Football. FOO, and they got the slashes over the top. If you spell it, the O and the slash, football. And they make fun of us. They go, no, we play with a round ball. And they do. And we play with ours is not, what, Charlie? What is a football? What the hell is that thing? Like in America?
The old pigskin. I feel like the Aussie rules football, right? And the rugby ball, they're kind of similar to a football in an oblong way. A little bit.
I see what you did there. Instead in an odd way, you said in an odd long way. That was good.
Can I just say too, because obviously we're all from St. Louis here, and I was looking on X at the end of the NASCAR race, and there were a couple Battlehawks fans in St. Louis who were not too happy with that NASCAR race going long because it pushed the Battlehawks game to FS2. So that just shows people nationally here. It's crazy, but the Battlehawks are a huge deal in St. Louis. The fans just love the Battlehawks.
Well, we don't have any football. I mean, we don't have NFL, right? So
yeah. And there's signs. The fans are holding signs up. Our owner, Cronky, that sold our team, took our team to LA. There's signs down there during this game. Cronky sucks. And this guy was just begging FS1 to get that sign on the air. So, yeah, there's a little ill will. And I'll tell you what, Charlie, I don't know if you heard because, you're with the media here in town. They're all your friends. It looked to me like, there was a decent amount of people there. And Kenny, the other thing I did was I took pictures out of my phone from when we race dirt inside the dome. But we do get rid of a lot of seats when we race on dirt inside the dome, and they bring those seats back out for this football game. But I'm looking. There was definitely, sometimes when you go, oh, there's nobody here, and then you get ready to leave, and you're like, holy moly.
Yeah.
There was 30,000 people there last night, no doubt, for, a football game. So that's what I did. And, but a shout out to Aunt Pat. We love her so much. And Kim said, get the hell out of here and go to the Battlehawk game. I said, okay. So I spent $34 on a simple large t-shirt. We think racing t-shirts are expensive. Go to a football game. Kenny, we got, and Charlie, we have so much. Oh, by the way, let me back up, everybody. I got rave reviews on Charlie Marlowe being on the show. They liked it that, Kenny, they like it that Charlie can bring up what we don't know immediately.
Well, he could be talking a lot then, because we don't know that much.
We got so much to talk about. Let's start. I hate to do this. I'm not the word hate, but we got to talk about this 9-second pit stop. So let's pretend we're not going to talk about the race because everybody's already beat it down.
So we got so much to do, and then we're going straight to the last 4 laps.
Okay, let's not do it.
I don't know. I'm just asking a question.
Well,
It's unbelievable that, I say all the time, it's never been this competitive. It's never been this and that. So, it was ballpark like a second quicker stop. I think I remember him saying 9.4 versus 10 something. And he went from, did he come in 4th?
they said 3rd, but it could have been 4th.
Okay, he come in 4th and went out by more than a little bit, leading, and then wins the race because of it. That was the first time he had led, wasn't it? Yesterday. Not yesterday, but Sunday. So, you talk about competitive. Oh my gosh. I mean, his job from pit line to pit entrance to pit exit, his driving, his stopping, his accelerating, who he has the worst record in our sport for pit road penalties. Speed.
Yeah.
He is the worst. But him and the crew won themselves a race yesterday with 1 pit stop.
Man, oh man, I was had my coffee this morning. I'm scrolling social media, and you know how somebody says something, and then later on it doesn't age very well. It's like, you spoke too soon. There was somebody on social media that says, Denny Hamlin usually runs good here. He's running horrible. What's he, 30th? I'm like, this didn't age very well. The great thing about that race is you're able to work on your car, and they got him better. But Kenny, we've been having fun with this. In my day, in your day, you guys were, coming down pit road and rattling off an unbelievable 15-second pit stop. And here we are, almost twice as fast, 1 lug nut. But I mean, they're changing those tires. It's like, did you change the tire?
Yeah.
But yeah.
And that 9-second, we had 20 lug nuts.
Yeah, right.
They've got 4, almost 5 times more. But, that 9-second stop is slow compared to Formula One.
Boy, no, what are Formula One? What are they?
I think they're 3s and something.
Charlie, Google that. You're the king Googler. The fastest Formula One pit stop. While he does that, we just have a little bit to talk about, people. So we are going to put we've accidentally put NASCAR up here. So this wreck happens at the end of the race. So Ryan Blaney is going to win the race. I mean, he just is. He's gone. 4 to go. And Kyle Larson,
he came from 11 seconds back after the last stop. I mean, that's how far back he was.
Yeah, he was digging. He was fast. So Ryan Blaney's leading the race. Now, here's where I'm going with this. Not so much about the events, but last year, NASCAR had a rule that says if you wreck out, you're out. So Kyle Larson wrecks out early, goes back to the garage area, spends lots of laps, hundreds, and they put a whole new nose on this car. And he comes back out because of the new rule change. They changed that over the winter. They said, okay, you can do old school. You can go back, fix your wrecked race car up and come back out, even though you don't have any business being on the racetrack because you're hundreds of laps down. But we got these NASCAR points. And would you believe it, Kenny? Kyle Larson ends up being, he ends up letting off the gas because Reddick gets in the wall, and then Bubba hits Kyle Larson, spins him out. Just that thought of that new rule change, letting the car 100 laps down, back out on the track.
I like it. I mean,
okay.
I mean, that's the way it was for years.
Charlie's laughing.
No, I mean that you could fix your stuff and go back out. But back in the day, which I hate saying that, but that's just what it is. Back in the day, there would be 15 cars, 18 cars, at least 15 out of the race because they broke stuff, because the parts weren't as good. This time there was 2 out of the race, I think. So, you know, you can't, it's hard to gain anything anymore. You know, and Larson got dumped on that deal. Bubba got him, but not any fault of Bubba's. You know, Bubba's behind Kyle. Kyle sees Reddick in the fence. Kyle lets up just that much, you know, and Bubba's in him and got him turned around. So Blaney just gets the lead. I mean, just gets the lead.
Yeah,
and
power
it's
move.
like, really, you know. So
Actually,
you just don't know.
Yeah, Charlie, did you hear that sound bite? I mean, you're all over the sound bites for the Kenny Wallace YouTube show. Did you hear Michael Jordan walk up to Ryan Blaney?
Yeah.
What did he say there?
He just went to give him a handshake, a high five, and then Blaney said something like, I think Michael Jordan said, "Hey, real close," or "so close." And then Blaney said, "Yeah, if your boy didn't spin out Larson," basically. And MJ said, "Oh, did he spin him out?" Yeah.
Yeah, that was a low blow.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I saw it, but you didn't. You ride on somebody and they check up, it's like, uh-oh, you know.
And you know, what we're bringing up is not so much the race. It's that NASCAR just changes that rule back. And it's okay, but it bites them in the ass and changes the whole outcome of the race. You know, Kyle, last year, Kyle Larson would have been home already. He would have, wrecked his car. He'd have drove up, what is that, 601? No, 200. What's that road we take going down out of Charlotte?
We haven't taken that road in years. I don't know what it is. I think it might have been 601.
Yeah, me and you did a lot of driving back then.
Yeah.
Through 600, 200. Yeah.
I got, so my buddy Nick Gomrick, you know Nick.
Oh, Naked Nick.
Naked
Nick. That's a story.
Yeah, so we better not go there.
Oh, it's a good one, Kenny.
No. But anyway, maybe
I'm going to tell it.
No, you're not.
Okay, I won't tell
maybe
it.
1988. He comes down Wednesday night, and we're going to pick Senior up Thursday morning at the farm, and we're going to drive to Darlington.
Okay, hold on, everybody. They're going to pick up Dale Earnhardt Sr. Okay,
Yeah.
keep going.
Well, anybody that's watching this thing has got to know Senior. But anyway.
Pretty big deal.
Yeah. So we go pick up Senior, and it's driving a Suburban. I'm driving. Senior's riding shotgun. Nick's in the back. I go about, 30 miles. I'm tired. I dropped the right front off on his shoulder.
Oh, damn.
Earnhardt wakes. Pull over, damn it. Let me drive. You're going to kill us all. So he starts driving. He goes about 50 miles, and he gets pulled over by the police. And, of course, he doesn't get a ticket. And then he crawls in the back, tells Nick, he said, "You drive." He said, "I don't even know where I'm going." He said, "You're on the right road. Just keep going down. You'll see it on the right." So we got the pole. It had to be 88. We got the pole, and Senior was second. No, it was 87.
Yeah.
We got the pole, and Senior was second. And Nick told all his buddies, he said, them idiots, they qualified first and second, and they wouldn't even made it to work if I wasn't there. So it was kind of funny. Guess you had to be there.
Oh, it was very funny. Now, that was going to Darlington, right?
Going to Darlington.
Okay, so
Everybody
Charlie.
used to get tickets in that one town, remember?
Oh, they still do.
Yeah.
They still do. Forgot the damn not Mount Pleasant. I forgot. But okay, so here's the other deal, Charlie. When you live in Charlotte, North Carolina, there's a handful of tracks, that we all just drove to it, Martinsville, Bristol, Rockingham, Darlington. And as I would say, those truly were fun days. The planes, you had to start buying the planes because NASCAR started putting these tracks everywhere across America. But in the day, I would ride with Kenny Schrader or, vice versa. Hey, Herman, pick me up. And we'd go to, it's crazy to think that we were racing in America's biggest, racing of
We'll go
NASCAR.
Back and forth every night.
Yeah, I mean, we're racing
Maybe
NASCAR.
stay Saturday night.
And we're driving, the Southern 500, and we're going back and forth. Well, one thing that to this day that's true, and I'm still amazed by Kenny, when we would go to Rockingham and we were going back through those, they weren't even 2 lanes. They were a lane and 3/4. We'd go past this driveway, and good-looking driveway, with an arch. Andre the Giant, the great wrestler. That's where he lived.
I was going to Rockingham.
Yes.
I was going to Rockingham, yeah.
And he really did live there, and I watched a TV special. And, and during those days, Kenny, you're like, does he really live there? And I'll be damned, he really did live there. And it just, I guess the story goes, he found that land and fell in love with it. Traveled the world, Andre the Giant, the great wrestler.
I think that was right before Ellerby. When you were going down on the left before Ellerby. You go down past it, and then you make that right, go up to Ellerby. Who was from Ellerby?
Benny
Parson.
Going to Darlington and going to Rockingham is pretty incredible, ain't it, Kenny? I mean, the cotton fields on the way to Darlington.
Yeah. It's easy to get them confused. It's easy to get them confused. Had to really think about that.
Yeah, because you'd head down 600 and you had to make that right to go to Darlington or stay straight on one. And some great country western artists. Randy Travis. Randy Travis was from right there. Anyway, those are really good traveling times, and we could go to all those tracks all day long just by driving our personal vehicles. And then NASCAR spread their wings, and Schrader got a King Air 200, and I started riding with him.
Yeah, their wings were already spread. We just we still had some around the house.
Yeah. Okay, so Michael Jordan, just kind of reassessing. Michael Jordan after the race goes up to Blaney and goes, you can clearly see Michael Jordan is becoming like in with the group now. So Michael Jordan has been
not so much with the group in the NASCAR trailer, but the other guys.
Right.
Yeah, he's partway in the group.
Michael Jordan's still suing NASCAR, everybody. But you can clearly see that Michael is more involved in the garage area, so to speak. You could see that Michael's been reserved. Now he is giving TV interviews, and that's pretty rare. Michael Jordan is giving TV interviews, so Michael's feeling good about himself. He goes up to Ryan Blaney after the race. Hey, good run, Ryan. And Ryan bitch slaps him by saying, your boy cost me this race. And Michael Jordan just kind of like, oh, really? But that was Michael's making his way in with the boys now. And I like it that even on a throwback weekend, Kenny, Michael Jordan still admits that 43 Richard Petty is still Michael Jordan's man. That's what got Michael Jordan into racing, was about the same as me and you, right? Richard Petty. Who was your guy? Was it AJ or Mary or
AJ?
Yeah, me too.
AJ was the guy, because I was in Missouri, and AJ came to DuQuoin, Illinois, and Springfield, Illinois, and those are places you could get to. I never thought about going down south to see a NASCAR race. That was speed sport. You heard about that.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see that. But AJ, there was a lot of them. I mean, just a lot of them.
Well, you bring up a good point. We obviously didn't have cell phones. I can still feel myself. Herman, run down to that mailbox and I'd come flying out of that house and run down to that big orange mailbox, and I'd grab that Speed Sport. And buddy, that was the Bible. That's how we found out where everybody ran the week before.
Yeah. That was big. That was all your results. That's how when I started racing and doing a lot of traveling, you knew who to go talk to because you're like, oh, I mean, I met Bugsy Stevens first time when I went to Seekonk, Mass to race, and it's like, wow, racing with Bugsy, and this is in the late 80s, 88, 89.
What a name.
And he was like just, hero material. So it was pretty neat to meet those guys.
So they're interviewing Michael Jordan, and now we're still on Michael Jordan, everybody. and he's feeling good about himself. He's starting to give these interviews, and I believe it was Jamie Little. She's talking to him, and at the end, Michael Jordan's kind of having fun, is talking about how Denny just goes on. And then Michael Jordan says, live on TV, he says, if you boo Denny, it makes him better. And then Michael Jordan goes a step further and says, if you boo me, it makes me better. What do you think about that, Kenny? I mean, they thrive on controversy.
I mean, Denny's always kind of been like that. I don't know anything about Michael as far as, he was one of them names I knew that was a hero in basketball, but I didn't know about career or nothing. But a lot of people are like that. We had guys like that in the past. I mean, we were talking before, DW was like that. I mean, he go ahead, bring it on, But it affects different people, But Denny, Denny had, how in the hell do you even say Denny's been off? He hasn't been off. He just hasn't won a bunch lately,
Yeah.
Which yesterday was his 56th win, I think.
56, yep, just past Rusty Wallace.
Yeah, they were tied for 11th, and now he's in 11th, I guess, which is pretty amazing because, he's not done winning.
Charlie, did you ever find out what the fastest Formula One pit stop is?
I did. So here it is. The fastest ever. This is 2023 McLaren in Qatar. Mm-hmm. Lando Norris driver, 1.80 seconds.
What did they do? I mean, was that tires and fuel?
Let's see. It says McLaren's pit crew changed the tires on Lando Norris's car in just 1.8 seconds.
Damn.
Maybe just tires.
Yeah, but I think, Kenny, you're right. I mean, when we watch those, it's like the car comes in, it goes up and goes right back down.
Yeah. Yep.
And they got air jacks. There's no jack, man. They just put an air hose in the car. Goes up, goes down. Boom. So, yeah, you're right. We're still 8 seconds off, aren't we, Kenny?
Yeah. 7, basically.
Man, we're slow.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, as much as ours have gotten faster, there's no, I mean, all right, so 20 years ago, we would have never said, he had a 9-second pit stop. There's nothing saying that 20 years from now they won't say, do you believe they used to, I mean, a good stop was 10 seconds, There's nothing, we don't know.
There's no doubt in my mind that Denny Hamlin is Darrell Waltrip's son. Darrell Waltrip would win all them races, and the fans would hate him. And Darrell Waltrip, you can Google that story. Darrell Waltrip says, I'll beat your ass. I'll meet you in the Kmart parking lot. I'll meet all you fans in the Kmart parking lot. Darrell. And then he'd win the race. And then it would infuriate the fans. Kenny, 9 times out of 10, any athlete, you can get under their skin. Darrell Waltrip, Denny Hamlin, Michael Jordan, these guys, you can belittle them. You can tell them that, hey, your mother is a bad. Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then they go on to win the race. I just find that amazingly awesome. that nobody can say anything you want to me. Now I'm going to be better. And that came from Michael Jordan, his live interview with Jamie Little. And I found that really appealing. It's almost encouraging to people. Don't let people get to you. Don't let people get under your skin. There's this saying that I want to look up. It's so good. It basically, if you react to everything anybody says to you, you're never in control, because anybody can say anything to you. And I'm going to find that. But all right, moving forward, as Larry McReynolds said, I think we beat Darlington to death. We covered all the highlights. The one last thing, Kenny. William Byron he's trying. He leads 246 straight laps?
Yeah.
What in the world? He almost goes after Jeff Burton's record. What year was that, Charlie? When did Jeff Burton, what did he do?
It was 01, I think. It was the year of the
restrictor plate.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it right here. This is for all of our friends out there listening. You will continue to suffer if you have an emotional reaction to everything that is said to you. True power is sitting back and observing everything with logic. If words control you, that means everything else can control you. Breathe and allow things to pass. Do you know who said that?
No. About 5 o'clock, I'll mix me a drink and it'll all be okay.
Bruce Lee?
Oh, Charlie, you win.
Well, I saw the Kung Fu.
Everybody was Kung Fu fighting. There it is. Bruce Lee, everybody. So if you're a race car driver, take those words. Bruce Lee.
By the way, Burton, 2000, New Hampshire.
2000?
All 300 laps.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. Cars were terrible to drive. Whoa. I mean, restrictor plate on the mile up there. But then they don't have no power now.
Where'd Kenny Schrader finish in that race?
Oh, it wasn't good.
Not good.
Who was
I in
driving
that
for?
race?
2000.
I was in Andy's car, I think. Okay. So we have a lot to get to. We have a lot to get to still.
Yeah.
And so William Byron leads 246 laps and does not win the race because he doesn't pit right. All those guys must have short pitted. William admitted after the race, he goes, we didn't do a good job pitting. And
yeah.
God,
after the race, it was real easy to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's amazing. So tire drop off was a lot again.
Yeah.
And it's amazing, guys pit like 2 laps earlier. I think the top 3, I think it was like 4 laps difference between all of them. And it makes that much difference. But then again, makes that difference with your stop, your whole total time on pit road, plus your deceleration from race speed back up to race speed. So, and now with the TVs and the coverage they do, they can give you so much of that information. It's really, really neat.
Yeah. Okay. Another. Now I know we're all laughing at this, but this was probably by far the biggest controversy of the weekend. I feel bad for Chase Elliott because a reporter, I don't think the reporter even meant to do it, but he sets up Chase Elliott. And here's what the reporter basically says. He says, Chase, everybody's running around saying that the throwback weekend here at Darlington is losing its luster. What do you have to say about that? Chase Elliott says, it's lost its luster 5 years ago. And if anybody else says this, it's just somebody says that. But I mean, it ricochets throughout the whole pit area, and everybody comes out of the woodworks. What is your thought, Kenny? I mean, we have a lot to say about this subject. Who said what? But has Darlington gone on too far? Should they stop it? Should they stop the throwback weekend?
Well, you take 38 cars, and you do it, is it 10 years now?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's 380. If everybody does it, it's 380 different paint schemes. You got to start digging pretty hard to come up with 380 paint schemes. Now, it's easier now than it used to be because you might have 6, 7 paint schemes in a year, but if you only have, and they're not paint anyway, they're vinyl. But if you got 7 different vinyls for the year,
Yeah.
and you only run one maybe 5 times, it's not real iconic, But with that said, I like it. I think it's neat. They're doing what they're doing still. I like it, and you know what? It goes with them numbers. It don't make any friggin' difference what color that car is. If their sponsor is happy with their car for that weekend, that's all that matters. But it's a lot of storyline.
Denny Hamlin, they get him in the media center, and he was very neutral in this situation. Denny did not stir up any controversy, but I think that this dynamic, now that the race is over, Denny Hamlin said it best. He said, look, now Denny didn't say this. I'm going to say this. These guys are getting like $600,000 per race. Let's just say $400,000 to $600,000. We know that's a fact. So these teams are receiving $400,000 to $600,000. And Denny goes, look, these sponsors, just like you said, Kenny, just now. Okay, so Denny Hamlin says, look, I just can't tell my sponsor we're going to play around here and put a throwback paint scheme on while they're giving us $600,000. Now, I'm saying that figure. And then the race is over. And Denny Hamlin wins the race with a quote-unquote throwback scheme. And guess it was Carl Edwards. What, 5-year-old?
Yeah. He said Carl could do the black backflip if he wanted because Carl was there. He wasn't doing it.
Boy, wouldn't that have been cool? God, where was Carl? That would have been great TV. Wow. But the moral of the story is that, okay, the guy that wins the race, his throwback scheme is not 8-10 years old.
Yeah.
It's Carl Edwards. Okay,
well,
then
that's how many years now? What year did Carl retire?
Charlie, when
9 years ago?
When was Carl's last race?
Wasn't it 16 at Homestead?
That's what we got you for.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I do have the running order, by the way, of the 2000 New Hampshire race.
It was
if
ugly.
you want that now.
How bad?
Yeah, we want to know.
Well, let's try to see if you guys can remember. Schrader, do you remember where you finished? 2000 New Hampshire.
I told you I didn't know who in the hell I was driving for, but I remember now it was the M&M. 2000 would have been the M&M car.
Oh, I got you. I got you with the top 10. Finished 10th.
See, you criticized yourself and you ended up being a hero.
Well, it's top 10 is not a hero. It's
good.
That year it was probably decent for us.
How many cars were in the race, Charlie?
So, by the way, only 11 cars on the lead lap. Johnny Benson finished 11th. Wallace, you're not going to like the result here when I tell you.
What'd I do? Tell me.
We got engine issues.
Oh,
43rd.
Damn. Oh my God, that was the first car out. 43 cars.
We got 39 laps.
Oh, I like that track too. That's one of my favorite tracks.
Where did we qualify, Charlie?
I think you were 9th, Schrader. You
Where'd I qualify?
qualified 9th, and I believe Kenny Wallace was 25th. 25th.
Jeez, I got roughed up. Hey, Kenny, remember this? Okay. Loudon. I qualify like 3rd or 4th, maybe 2001 or second race 2000. And Kenny, you were in the Skoll car, and you qualified like 15th. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm going to say. Everybody, this is an incredible story. So we're at Loudon, New Hampshire. I qualified top 6. I'm up front. And Kenny Schrader I know he's every bit of 16th. And they drop the green flag. And we all go down into turn 1. And the track they got this sealer on the track. And if you get out of this groove, you're going to wreck. Kenny Schrader, what was your thought? Tell everybody what you did. I know what you did.
Well, you could do that at Martinsville and Loudon for 3 or 4 laps while everybody was fighting to get single file behind one another at the bottom. You could haul ass around the top and you could pick up a ton of spots. But then the problem was, okay, I got to get in line. So sometimes you kind of had to force your way in, but you had to get in line. But yeah, we rolled the top there pretty good for a time. But my favorite one was at Michigan. You
Hold
and
on,
Mikey. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. Finish up.
I want to brag on it a little more. They dropped the green flag, and I'm up front, and I'm driving. We're teammates. Kenny Schrader and myself are teammates with Andy Petrie, and we don't run one lap. And I come off for turn 2, and it's like Trickle taught me. I took a picture in my mirror, and I'm like, "There's no way." Kenny Schrader's on my ass for like 5th or 6th spot. You rolled every bit of 5 rows of cars. You had passed 10 cars in one corner.
We didn't win, so it don't count. But
okay,
Michigan.
Michigan.
It was Friday night. We were Friday afternoon qualifying. I think it was you and Mikey Waltrip and I. We're going someplace to race Friday night. We're in the plane, and Kenny qualified good, and
like 5th or 6th.
Yeah, he's
Michigan.
He's all pumped up.
I'm jacked up.
Yeah, we get on a plane, and I qualified terrible, and Mikey qualified terrible, and he's kind of pumped up,
I'm running my mouth.
Yeah, he's running his mouth. It doesn't make any difference if you're pumped up or not. You're going to run your mouth. But,
yeah. Oh.
Anyway, I said, it don't make any difference where you qualified. I'll pass you in 20 laps anyway. Oh, it's like
no, you won't.
I said, stuck him in the heart, man. And I said, I got a $100 bill. It says I'll pass you in 20 laps. He said, I don't think so. I said, $100 bill. He said, okay. Well, I don't know. It was lap 17 or 18. We went by, and I had my left hand sticking out like this, give me the money. And Kenny doesn't get up real early in the morning, and I get up early in the morning. But I also stay up late, so that's an issue. But Monday morning, I'm in his house. It's not early, but it's probably 7:15. And I told Kim, I said, hey, I got to go get Kenny up. Is he up? No, he's in there asleep. So I go in there, and I'm touching on his nose and stuff. And he finally looks up. He said, oh, hell. So he went over and got me a $100 bill and signed it. I still got it.
I jumped out of that bed. I'm going to tell you what. I'm sound asleep, and I'm feeling something on my nose. I'm what? I open, and Kenny's like 2 feet from my face, and I knew what it was right away. I jump out of that bed. I
wanted my money.
Yeah, boy, he got me good. Yeah, you were driving, and what was amazing, I still have this image in my eyes. I'm chasing this son of a bitch. I'm loose coming up off of turn 4. I mean, we're at Michigan International Speedway. We're running 190 mile an hour, and I'm going elbows, and out of my vision, I know. I mean, we're live. I mean, this is a big race. This is like NASCAR.
It's just where we were that Sunday. Yeah, it's the same every week.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You had the ability, the comfort in your seat. He takes one of his hands off the steering wheel coming off a turn 4, 190 mile an hour, and he's got his hand out the window like this, Charlie, and the 25 Budweiser card, and he's doing like this. I'm like, you son of a bitch. And he's wiggling, give me my money, baby. Right during the middle of a cup race. It was fantastic. It was great. Good job, Schrader. You kicked my ass.
We didn't win that one either.
Yeah, but you kicked my ass. You got me good. Okay. Man. All right. We got to move on to Rockingham. In 2 weeks, I'm going to tell you the dates. Friday, April 18th is the NASCAR Truck Series. And Saturday, April 19th, the Xfinity Series is going to Rockingham.
Yeah, and the ARCA East is also Saturday.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So three series.
Three events.
Okay, so the question begs, I mean, it's not like little NASCAR's going back. They got Casey Kane. I'm hearing Saturday's big.
Saturday's going to be sold out.
Little Birdie told us it's incredible, right? And buddy, they got some grant. They still look the whole front stretch. So it's a hell of a crowd. All right, so we've kind of told everybody what's up. Here's my thought, and I just want you to weigh in here. What is going on with NASCAR right now? You know, they've gone back to Wilkesboro. And you and I know a little more than we should know. NASCAR wanted to go back to Rockingham. What's going on, Kenny? How does this arise? How does this go? How does NASCAR go? Let's go back to Rockingham.
I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't know. I didn't think we'd ever go back to Wilkesboro. And we wouldn't have. No way, without Junior.
Yeah, right.
We wouldn't have without Dale Jr. And they just talk about being powerful. I mean, he made that happen.
He's big.
I don't understand the Rockingham deal. You know, it's not Cup, but going back with the Truck Series, a 3-event show with Truck and ARCA East and Xfinity that's a huge weekend. We know by ticket sales for Saturday, there's going to be a lot of people that want to see it.
Charlie, Google this. Seating occupancy, Rockingham Speedway, Rockingham, North Carolina. The point is that, you know, we looked at the pictures. It's not like they don't got any grandstands. So I just find that in history, you know, it's like I told you a week or two ago that, you know, people call me the OG, and, you know, people wearing, you know, it's like throwback weekend at Darlington. And, you know, I want to finish up on that. Okay, this all kind of ties together, everybody. Brad Keselowski makes a big statement, you know, after Chase Elliott. And he says, listen, throwback weekend at Darlington is not all about us racers. You know, you look at Ward Burton. He showed, Kenny, Ward Burton can still fit in his fire suit. Larry McReynolds can still fit in his Texaco Haviland, Davey Allison, Ernie Irvin shirt. These fans are showing up. I mean, do you think going back to these racetracks, do you think it's really more about feeling good again? The fans going, man, this reminds me of my good times.
Well, see, that's all just opinion, so it don't make any difference. You know, I think the good times are now. You know, and
yeah,
let's. I mean, you'd have to really do the research, but great at Darlington. You know, were they all old people?
Probably.
Well, we don't have a clue. Was the demographics different? Is it different for Throwback weekend?
It's a good crowd. I'll say that. I saw that.
I think the two cars that I really liked was
Jim Clark.
Jim Clark, the Wood Brothers car.
Me too.
That was awesome. even though it was not NASCAR or anything. That was awesome. And then at Christopher Bell's, was it yesterday? Because I only saw the last part of the race, but was it yesterday that he had the Furkel tribute, or was that last year?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
But I like hearing what your favorites are.
Yeah, that was neat. The Furkel.
Oh yeah, Rick Furkel. That's right.
Rick Furkel, who he was almost 17 when he went to Ohio and drove for Rick. And
Yeah.
Rick was the original outlaw.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Sprint car. He did nothing. He won a lot, but he drove sprint car and he went wherever the money was. And they called him really, like him and Bobby Allen were the two that kind of really started doing stuff and really traveling.
Yeah, that's pretty cool that Christopher Bell has that in his heart, you know.
Well, I mean, Rick was the guy. I mean, you know, Rick had quit racing when Christopher went and drove for him. He still had owned his car and stuff. And Rick was struggling with a couple different drivers, and they told him, said, "We got a kid here in Oklahoma," and he was a kid. And he showed up, and it's like, really, you know, and right off first night, I think they run fifth first night, and it's like, yeah, this is the kid I want. So how many seats? Rockingham.
I'm seeing 32,000 and 34,500.
Okay,
That makes sense.
I
That's
think
a lot of people.
It used to be in the 50s or 60s. Yeah, 60s. So but it's, you know, you're going to be numbers there. Let's say infield and everything, which I don't think they're going to have much infield because they got the 3 series there.
Oh yeah.
There's not going to be a lot of infield. But let's just round down and say 30,000 people. 30,000 people could be one of the biggest Xfinity races of the year.
Good point, Kenny Schrader. Could be one of the biggest crowds of Xfinity for the year. I like that. So I just want to say this. My favorite paint scheme at Darlington was Austin Cindric's just simple number 2.
That looks sharp.
Yeah, basically the Rod Osterlund, Dale Earnhardt Sr. car. That really brings back some great memories for me. So, shameless plug here. Herm Schrader, Kenny Schrader, and myself are going to be downtown Rockingham on Thursday night. Thank you, Kenny. Kenny Schrader and myself, we'll be down there with the Marshall Tucker Band. There's going to be a lot going on downtown Rockingham.
Did they call you about singing too?
No, you're going to sing.
Yeah. Right.
But Thursday, April 17th, Kenny Schrader and myself will be down there, and we'll have a good time in the city of Rockingham. And by the way, that's another thing. The city's really getting involved in this, which is awesome. And then at 3 o'clock on Friday, April 18th, the truck race starts at 5 o'clock, I believe, Eastern Standard Times. And Kenny and I will be at Rockingham on Friday at 3 o'clock also. So you're going to have Casey Kane in the race, you know, the Xfinity race. It's a feel-good comeback story. I'm excited. So Kenny Schrader and myself will be down there. And
you know, the Rockingham racetrack too has had a ton of improvements over the last however many years.
Yeah, they repaved it.
Yeah.
They've repaved it. Yeah, which, that's a pretty big deal because we used to, you know what's funny, Kenny, is Rockingham and Darlington, you know, for the better part, are in really sandy area because it's close to the ocean. And the aggregate that they used to use for the asphalt, you know, you and I would walk the racetrack at one point later in the evening, and you'd see seashells sticking up out of the asphalt, and it would just grind the tires apart. And that's what made it so good.
Yeah.
You'd
They're
be
fun.
2 seconds
They slip
slower.
and slide. Yeah, slip and slide real quick.
All right. I don't know if we're going to be able to get to everything on the list, but something big popped up over the weekend, and for a lot of people, it's kind of quiet. Your boss, Rick Hendrick, and the owner of the Charlotte Motor Speedway, Marcus Smith, got together, and they created this wonderful road course outside turns 1 and 2 at their Charlotte Motor Speedway. And listen to this name. They named it 10 Tenths Club. 10 Tenths. And it is a road course. And over the weekend, Kenny, Thursday, say, my God, the people that showed up there for this event were from all over the world. What all do you know about that 10 Tenths racetrack? I've seen pictures. My God, it's beautiful.
I don't really know much about it. I need to research it some more. I was talking with the president of Charlotte Speedway, and he was telling me about it some. I know that years ago I bought a house that's right across the street from it. I sold it to my son Sheldon. I said, hey, don't think about selling this thing till you talk to me. We might be partners on this thing again because it's in a good location.
Yeah, and I was so interested that I've been hearing about it for about a year, and I know we all have. So I Google it thinking that it's going to be an up-to-date picture. And there, when you Google it and you zoom in or you MapQuest, it doesn't have the 10/10th racetrack on it. However, on social media, there is an aerial view. And boy, you're right. It goes up to the doorsteps of your house.
Yeah.
What is the name of that road? Moorhead.
Well, yeah, Moorhead, and then we're on Hudspeth. Right
Hudspeth,
across.
I meant.
Yeah, and
yeah.
Harvick bought Daryl's stuff. Daryl Waltrip had his little shop there. His last little shop, not the big one.
Yeah.
Speedway bought the big one. But so Harvick's our neighbor. My son's neighbor.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Sheldon, your son, is living in that house. He could probably look out the front door of your house. But you were a good dad. You sold him your house.
Yeah.
You might lose
If
a couple million. But
if I was a really good dad, I'd have given it to him. But I was a good dad.
that you did the right thing. You did the right thing. Well, okay. Charlie.
We didn't have so much of the short track stuff got rained out.
Yeah.
I know one of my favorite guys, Dale McDowell, who's going to be 60 this summer, I think, won
Awesome.
at Talladega Short Track, and I heard our buddy Bob Sargent, the ASA Series, Saturday night went to Dominion Raceway, which I've never been there, and he said, like, oh my gosh, it's got a road course, a drag strip, a beautiful, he said it's just unreal, that facility. And they had an ASA race there, which was went real good, I heard. But he said that facility is you just can't believe it.
Good stuff. I'll add on just a little bit. Of course, Wes Irwin is in town, and he sells souvenirs for the World of Outlaws. And Kenny, you and I talked about this, but the World of Outlaws sprint car race, it got canceled at 81 Speedway in Wichita, Kansas for too much wind. That was
2 weeks ago, though.
2 weeks ago? I think that's... Then they got rained out.
Arrowhead. They were at Arrowhead this last weekend. Yeah, they got rained out.
Rained out. So the weather is getting the best of racing here lately. And I'm looking out, and I see all sun, and I think we got maybe a little bit on Wednesday, but they say it, 20%. Charlie, do you have any jokes? Where are we at?
I do, and also got to let people know about the Dirty Mo Media and the merch line, the e-commerce merch line for all the shows. They've got awesome Herm Schrader merch, T-shirts, hats, all that. Visit shop.dirtymomedia.com to check out all the new stuff. I do have some jokes, and they're all computer related. Okay, they're all computer related, and I'll just give you a disclaimer. They're okay. Not great, but okay. Here we go. What is a computer's first sign of old age?
What is it?
What is a computer's first sign of old age?
I don't know.
How about loss of memory?
They,
Not bad.
yeah, it's not bad because that's what they always say.
Okay. My boss asked me how good I was at making spreadsheets. So what did the person say? My boss asked me how good I was at making spreadsheets.
I don't have a clue.
I told him I excel at it.
Which is
Excel
a
at
spread, which is a spreadsheet.
Yes. Okay. I said, hey, they're okay. They're okay.
Yeah.
Why was there a bug in the computer? Why was there a bug in the computer?
Why was there a bug in the computer? Because it had. Yeah, I want to say, but I don't know. I would need time to think about it. I
Yeah,
don't know.
this is kind of a
How long do you
spelling
think it would take you to think about that?
Well, there's got to be some. I don't know. Go ahead, Charlie.
All right. It was looking for a bite to eat.
Yeah.
BYTE, a bite to eat.
Yeah.
All right. And I'll do one more. I think you might be able to get this one here. What do computers like to eat? What do computers like to eat?
Come on, Schrader. You're
I
so
don't
damn
have
smart.
a clue. Oh, you kidding? I got an iPad. And it's like when you tell me watched all this stuff on social media. I still don't know anything about that. But that's okay.
Chips. Computer chips.
Yeah, computer.
And there we
Very
go.
good.
All computer related.
And as old Ed McMahon would say, that was a good one.
How many people watching think know Ed McMahon?
Ed McMahon. So when
A lot.
we would, yeah,
Think
yeah.
still?
You want me to tell your guys' demographics?
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
here we go.
From our demographics from the show.
Well,
It's got to be old people.
I can very quickly give you the YouTube demographics.
Yeah, please do.
All right, just give me
How
one
old
second.
are the people that watch Herm Schrader? I know Austin Harris watches us, and he's 22 years old. He said he loves Herm Schrader.
Okay, so this is just the Kenny Wallace YouTube channel, but obviously Herm Schrader's on this channel. Here we go. Okay, so your largest demo is 55 to 64-year-olds. That's 29% of your audience. Your next
I don't believe
highest,
it.
is 65 plus, is 28%. So basically, 57%
What
of your
did
audience.
I say?
Go ahead. Keep
Are
going.
you
It's
not
over.
listening?
So 55%, what is that? 57% of your audience is over 55. And then you have 19% is 45 to 54. And about 13% is 35 to 44. So here's basically about 11% of your audience is 34 and younger.
Yeah. They're like, who are these idiots?
We're
You
still
know?
living, Schrader. We're
Yeah.
still living.
Well, that just
Thank
tells
you
me,
all
though.
for watching.
Well, but that tells me, now in my little mind, that tells me that all those people from back then
Yep.
that complain about the racing and it's no good and the sport's no good no more. They're just doing that. They're just running their mouths. It's down deep. They're still paying attention.
We love NASCAR. We love racing.
What percentage you think is men versus women on YouTube?
Ooh. It's going to surprise us. So I think women.
You're going with just two sexes there.
I am for this one.
Schrader
Okay.
said
There
it,
is-
not
Yeah,
me.
I
love it.
No,
There
I'm
is-
just going with just two sexes. Okay.
I love it. I love you. Kenny
Let's
Schrader,
split
I
it
love
up
you
that
so
way.
much.
We'll split
Yeah.
it that way.
You're a
It does say
badass.
user specified. User specified is 0% for this channel, just so you know.
Okay.
So go.
But,
I think it's pretty good. I'd say 56% is ladies.
Schrader, take a guess.
35 to 40% ladies.
Ooh, you guys are way off. 91% male, 91.3% male, about 9% women.
Come on, ladies. We love you. Thank you, guys. Us guys got to stick together.
That's right.
That's good. Hey.
Maybe we need makeup. Maybe we need fancier sets. Let's stop to think about that.
This is some of the most fun I've had on Herm Schrader Today's Show. It's not one of my favorite shows ever. It just was easy, and we had so much to talk about.
We didn't talk about anything. We talked about the pit stop. They had an Xfinity race too Saturday, if you remember that.
I saw it.
They have a truck race too?
Nope.
I think the most race. Little Jones won it, right?
Yeah, he kicked her ass.
He was, he was just good, good.
Yeah. I think my favorite thing about the show today was I could feel myself, you and I going to Darlington or Rockingham, and Andre the Giant, you know where he lived. Hey, Google it, everybody. Andre the Giant. You know,
when you said feel yourself, I'm out.
Yeah. So I can feel myself.
But anyway, it was good talking to y'all.
It was a great show. We had a good time. We will see everybody this weekend at Federated Auto Parts Raceway Park. And Charlie, what are you doing this weekend? You gonna come watch me race?
Ooh, I think I might try to come out one of those days. Although I'm a track coach for 7 and 8-year-old girls, so we have a meet this Sunday. And yesterday I had a practice where I was basically the only coach of about 17 7 and 8-year-old girls. So that's an experience.
Try to get them to watch the show.
Yeah.
Hey girls, we'll get female numbers and younger numbers.
Yes.
Man, we got 12-year-old girls watching Herm Schrader. All right, everybody. Listen, like we say at the end of every show, this is on YouTube, and you can find us over there on Dirty Mo Media. 2 places. If you want to see Kenny Schrader and Charlie Marlowe's face, we're right here on YouTube. And of course, we are on the Dirty Mo podcast. Until the next show or this weekend at Peebly, come see us. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.